Hey folks, welcome back to the village. I got to work on a little banana bread today. Kind of cold outside, warm bread. It's a pretty good thing. So, recipe here, nothing special. I pulled it off allrecipes.com, one of my favorite sites. Again, you're going to find a thing with me. A recipe is made the way it is on the paper the first time, second time it's modified. Not real good at measuring, always comes out good. So I have a couple tweaks that I put on this recipe. I will post this recipe on at the end there, so if you do want to check it out, make it yourself, I'll do that. You'll also see my little things that I change on the bottom there too. So basically, let's go put this down over here and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, and one thing I do too also with flour is it calls for 1.5 cups of white flour, all-purpose white flour. I like to use a cup of whole wheat and 1/2 cup of white flour. I like to try to make this a little better. I cut my sugar down from a cup to 2/3. Just little things I do. You'll see those little things I do on here that I switch up a little bit. So, grab that spoon. Okay. Got my butter over here in the microwave. Hit that 5 more minutes. So we start out with the bowl, butter and the sugar. Here's our sugar put in there. And then our 1/2 cup of melted butter, which goes in next. I'm gonna give that a little mix up kind of together. Pretty simple stuff. Then we add 2 eggs to that mix. Bigger spoon. That spoon's gonna fall down in my mix. Almost done. God damn it. Dull content. All right. So we got our 2 eggs mixed in there. Then we have our vanilla. I think a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I use pure vanilla. Don't want any of that fake crap. Again, measuring, give or take. Vanilla, eggs, mix that up. Real good. So those yolks up. Get a bigger spoon. Too small a spoon keeps falling down on the bowl. There we go. That's better. That'll work better. Alright, so we got that mixed up. So then we go back and put our flour in again. 1.5 cups of flour. I go 1 cup of whole wheat, 1/2 cup of regular all-purpose flour. Personal preference. Just little modifications I make on the recipe. There's not many recipes that I make I make them according to the recipe the first time, second time. I have it, then I think to myself, this is what I want to do, so I switch it up. Not all the time, but most of the time. Sometimes I'm making it, I'm thinking I want to switch things up. It's just how I do it. So mix that up real good. Flour in there, baking soda and salt. So I got baking soda, which is 1 teaspoon of baking soda, And then I think it is been a while since I made this recipe. Half a teaspoon of salt. So there, we'll give that a stir, mix that in. Right, let's see what that looks like. Mixed up there. Kind of supposed to make it smooth. Again, I don't worry about it. It's pretty smooth. You sit here and just go at it for a while. Don't worry about it. Then we fold in our sour cream, our walnuts, and our bananas. Again, it calls for a half a cup of sour cream. I like to use about 3/4 cup. You probably think it's sour cream. That's weird. You'll notice what the difference it makes. Usually you get banana bread that's dry. This bread will never be dry. So I think you'll be surprised what the sour cream does for it. Not to mention, it adds a lot of flavor to it. Bananas is another thing. I've not. It usually says 2 medium-sized bananas. I have small organic bananas here. I put 4 of them in. Again, personal preference. And that's the cat weighing in on that. Just peel them off. The more gnarly they get, like these, the darker they are, the nastier they are, where you don't want to eat them, that's better for this. Just easier to mix them up into the batter and stuff. So these are good. In another 2 days they'd be perfect and get kind of gnarly looking. And almost where they're like dripping and looking gross, that's when they're perfect. I think it makes the bread taste even better too. So I'll just put those in there. Get rid of these guys. Kind of mix those up. I might be going with a spoon. I personally like to take a fork to bust the bananas up. Just kind of breaks them down a little easier. These are pretty soft, so I think we could probably get it with this spoon. Actually, I'll take it back. I'm going to throw a fork into it. Put the spoon to the side. Fork just naturally just squishes them up better. That way you don't have like little chunks of it. It kind of mixes it in real good. Mixing that all up. Kind of a workout for you. Don't want to use a mixer. That seems like it'd be easier. Screw it up. Can't do that. Gotta kind of muscle it up and get it put together. Actually looks pretty good. I think it comes, let's see. And then of course it's banana walnut bread. You can put the walnuts in, you don't have to. It calls for half a cup. Again, my inability to measure. Kind of eye it up. That's how I do it. Looks like half a cup to me. That's basically what you end up with. So, and then I take in, I like to use the glass loaf pans. I think it works better. Metal's fine. I personally like the glass. I think it does a little better job. I just take butter, stick butter. I just give it a rub. That way when she gets done, she'll just pop right out of there. There. Just like that. Pretty simple. Just take this and feed it into your pan. Okay folks, there's our finished banana bread. Gonna let that sit. It's been out about 5 minutes. We'll let that sit there for probably another 5. Then I'll flip it out on maybe a couple paper towels, let it sit for a bit, cool down, and then I'll put it like in a Ziploc bag or something to store it. Want to make sure it cools down everything so it doesn't condensate or anything. Nice and soft. I think it came out pretty good. If you like the recipe, I will post it on the end of the video there. I'll put an image of it up you can look at and download it and try to make it yourself. If you like the video, hit the like button below. If you like what we do out here in the village, smash that subscribe button. If you want to hit the notification button, that'll tell you when we're posting new stuff so you know and be up to date on the newest stuff coming out. We're putting out more stuff as the weather improves. Like we're going to improve here quite a bit coming up. Yeah, any questions, any comments, any ideas down below, add those, put those. We're here to share and learn from each other. So thanks for joining, folks, and have a great weekend.